Okay, much like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where we have basic needs, our medium needs, and then our superficial needs, this pyramid here represents the needs every single human being, every single person needs to combat the bullshit, the fuckery, the nonsense life throws at each one of us. Whether you like it or not, we can all sit here and admit that at random times, at all types of different moments, life throws us with the unseen, the incomprehensible. Life throws us with things that cannot be calculated, that cannot be measured. So therefore, the best things that we can do as humans, as rational individuals, is to prepare for things to happen, prepare for shit to happen, because shit happens. Shit happens all the time. The point is that whenever shit happens, how prepared are you? Are you ready to combat the shit thrown at you, the shit thrown at your loved ones, your family, those around you? Are you prepared to combat the fuckeries of life is prepared to throw at you? Are you prepared for these things? So over here, we have the pyramid of life, which helps break down the things needed foundation by foundation in a person's life. Over here, the foundational needs. At the bottom, we have the foundational needs that every person must build and have resourceful in their hands. What belongs here? Income. You need consistent income. You need money coming in on a regular basis. Whether you have to trade hours for income or you have a business that generates money on a 24/7 basis for you. Income is needed. Income is not needed for this income over here does not mean a lavish lifestyle, does not mean a new BMW, a new Lamborghini, expensive clothes that you need. This is basic needs, things that can help you acquire sleep, good sleep, and shelter. These things you need to live, to have a roof over your head in case of a rainy day, a rainy season, whatever it may be. The income satisfies, it suffices those things. The income provides leisure. To the extent of the leisure you need via your income, it all depends on how much income you earn. How much money are you earning? That's a whole different thing, a whole different idea. If you earn more, obviously you can spend more on other things, but the foundation really highlights the income necessary for basic real needs like sleep and shelter, food, water, etc. That is what income is needed for. You need that first. If you don't have that, go apply for that job. Go apply for that job over there. Drop off your resumes 100 times in a day. Start that business. See how it is to try that business out. Perhaps it works out for you. But you can't start that business with $0 coming in because you need something to fuel that business. Starting a business is much like burning money away. You burn money for a certain period of time until it generates income. And the only way you can do that is to have solid, decent income coming in the first place. So focus on that, the foundation, income, step one. The foundation number two, called the anti-chaos shield, is for when a rainy day comes upon us, is for when shit actually hits the fan, right? So over here, you have things like an emergency fund. Emergency fund, why do you need an emergency fund? It's your girlfriend's birthday coming up, and guess what? You gotta buy that $500 bag. But lucky for you, you have $10,000, $20,000 that you've been slowly adding up to your emergency fund. So for her birthday in 2 days that you forgot about is coming up, you can immediately spend from that emergency fund. You can immediately give the money that your mom, your parents, somebody needs to pay off an expensive bill, whatever it may be, because you have income coming in. You're not looking at ever the emergency fund. It's money you put away and don't look at. And then when you open it, you have a significant amount of money there. So whatever rainy event occurs, because we all have rainy days, we all have rainy events, you can pull from that emergency fund with no real extra insane cost tax on you mentally and physically, right? You don't stress yourself. You don't go buy on a credit card and face 20% interest rates. You don't get screwed by the other things that life has to offer you via the emergency factor. It's emergent. That is why you have those funds there. Because if anybody else, if you went and asked them for funds, they tax you on the ability to give you money urgently. They tax you on the ability to provide you with that product or service urgently. That is why you need to have an emergency fund, because you never know when things are going to go wrong. Your car broke down. Your phone's getting slower. You need a new phone. All of these things affect our day-to-day living, the money that we have on hand, all of these need to be combated via an emergency fund, right? Other few things that you can follow in this anti-chaos shield is have low interest rates. If you have a loan, if you have a line of credit, use those, make sure those follow a low interest period, low interest rate compared to your credit card. You know your credit card charges you ridiculous rates, so why don't you open up that LOC yet, line of credit yet? Why don't you fix your credit in order to be able to open that line of credit and save on interest? You're paying an 18% difference in interest. Over the long run, you're getting screwed. Over the long run, life in its various modes and factors is screwing you via these interest rates, via these penalties and fines, via that ticket on the road that you just got, via that illegal U-turn that you just busted and now the cop handed you a ticket. All of these things add up, friends. So we need to make sure that our pyramid is in place, is in structure, so that whenever these unforeseen circumstances happen, we're ready. It's not affecting us to the point that we cannot recover. Because that's the thing. Because most of us, when we have these events repeatedly, time and time again, we do not learn from them. We do not prepare again for them. And when it happens repeatedly again and again, it sinks us. Right? This is the sink or swim factor in many of our lives. So just because this repeatedly happens over and over again, a lot of us sink, whether it's financially, whether it's in our marriages, whether it's in our relationships, whatever it is, it's taxing on us. It's taxing on us mentally, physically, spiritually. It kills us. It kills our desire. It kills us within, right? It erodes the ability to live a purposeful life, a meaningful life. And that's what we'll get to just now. Foundation number 3, autonomy. You want to reduce dependencies on anyone and anything outside of your own automaton. You want to reduce the dependencies on needing a credit card, on going to the bank and asking for a $500,000 loan, on whatever it is, asking that friend for $50,000 or $60,000, whatever it is. You want to reduce external dependencies on the world, because sooner or later, these people will disappoint you via high interest rates, via telling you no when you've done it for them, via all of these different ways that you can be disappointed. You will be disappointed by these external dependencies. That's why over here, autonomy, we focus on skill stacking, focus on new skills, focus on learning about that new business, focus on implementing sales skills into your existing business, focus on marketing, focus on all these things that develop you not only as a person, but it also helps your business, yourself, those around you. You become a more developed individual. You become a more knowledgeable, wise individual, learning all these different aspects, all these different knowledgeable topics there are to learn. You learn more about money, therefore you save more money. You learn more about business, therefore you start a successful business. All of these things have a cause and effect. In autonomy, we want to stack our skills, stack ourselves to the place where we can go and do something that our skills are valued at. We can now reduce the dependency on our job and replace this with a business, with investments, things like this. But this can only be done if you are working on autonomy, my friends. If you are continuously learning, continuously watching YouTube videos, continuously reading, continuously implementing yourself with the time you have. At the end of the day, 30 minutes, 20 minutes a day, whatever it is, it all compounds in 5 years and 2 years, right? Whatever it is, those things compound and eventually help you break out of this cycle, because this is a cycle, right? You need to have the foundation, you need to have the chaos shield, autonomy, and all of these things fuel what truly matters in each one of our lives. And that is a mission, a purpose, a reason for getting up in the morning, a reason for filling our body with nutrients, a reason for eating, sleeping, waking up the next morning. You want to produce, wake up every single morning and produce the maximum amount of output that you can. And this can only be done through a meaningful life, a meaningful mission, a meaningful purpose. That is what you want to focus on, right? I love that your mission in life is to be a painter, sweetheart, or to be a ballerina, sweetheart. But listen, this is something you must understand, is that you can't pursue your goals and dreams that produce zero income, that produce zero money, wealth, whatever it is, and then go and try to do this for the rest of your life, because It'll affect you in every way possible. It'll screw you in every way possible. That is why you have to have income coming in first, sweetie, before you go to ballet class, before you go to art class, before you produce the things that your heart truly desires. I know you don't like working your shit job. I know you don't like doing all of these things that are required for you to build and sustain an income. But in this life, we are required to do certain things. We are required to work, develop ourselves in a place where we can fully enjoy our mission, our purpose in life, and spread that to the world. Spread your paintings onto TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. Make those videos. Do those dances with that dance club you've all been waiting to do, right? That you've been delaying for years. Whatever it may be, you have to have the foundational steps prior to you pursuing your mission full time in order for you to succeed in that mission, in order for you to be mentally free to pursue that mission wholeheartedly, spiritually, mentally. Because if you do not have your income in place and you want to go and dance all the time, 5-6 hours a day, you realize by the end of the week, by the end of 2 weeks, rent is due, sweetheart, and you don't have the income necessary to pay rent. You're now forced to evict your place. You have to leave. You have to consume shitty food. Things of all of these bullshit things happen because you don't have the foundational things needed, right? Like your phone broke down. You need a new phone, but you can't produce your videos of you dancing on social media without a good phone. You need a good phone. How are you going to do that? Via your emergency fund, via the income that you have, that you've been generating in the previous foundations. You need to have these foundations in place, secured, work on them constantly, because you can always improve your income. You can always improve your shelter, all of these things. But do you really need to improve your shelter to focus on your mission? All of these questions must be asked so that they fuel one another, right? Your income fuels your anti-chaos shield. You're now able to go buy technology, a better phone, a better system, a better stereo system, better pieces of paint, pastels, chalk, whatever it is for your artwork. It all fuels each other, right? And now your income, the skills that you learn in the autonomy state, right? It now helps you to increase your income. It now helps you to get a better, bigger, more luxurious house, shelter, whatever it is, right? All of these things eventually fuel your mission. It helps you to produce value in your existence. It helps you be a valuable human being by focusing on your mission, by focusing on your purpose, the thing that really drives you, the thing that really motivates you to get up. But here's something that we can look on the bright side of things, because we have to do all of these things to get to our mission, right? The beauty of life, ladies and gentlemen, is that we get to build this pyramid from step one. We get to build the foundation. We get to build our anti-chaos shield. We get to build out and learn and refine our autonomous skills, skill stacking. We get to do all of these things and then eventually focus on the thing that truly matters to us, which is our mission, right? We get to do all of these things as human beings. We should be grateful for the life that we've been given and the ability to be able to focus on these things step by step, one by one. Because anybody that's built anything great, Facebook, Nvidia, all these AI companies were all built with the foundation. They all had a structure in place before they were able to go out and work on their mission, right? Before Mr. Jensen Huang was able to go out and build the greatest company the world has ever seen, Nvidia, right? He had food on the table. He had a shelter over his head. He had money coming in to pay for his miscellaneous expenses so he could fully focus on what truly mattered to him, what truly mattered to his purpose, his mission, Nvidia, the company, right? This pyramid is universal. It applies to everybody's life, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman or whatever you may be, whatever you may like, whatever age you may be. This is needed, ladies and gentlemen. This is needed to produce a long living, healthy life. This is what you need to work on. The pyramid of life is what you need to be able to focus wholeheartedly on your mission.